Hey everybody, welcome or welcome back to my channel, a place where we talk all things beauty. Today we are doing a birthday Q&A. So over on Instagram, I asked you guys to send me your questions. So today we're gonna sit down, we're gonna get ready. We're gonna use a lot of new makeup too. We have newly available brand at Sephora, Range Beauty, new eyeshadow palette from Moira, and new blushes from Rare Beauty. We're also gonna try some things from Colfi, Coco Kind, and Maybelline. And I'm gonna chat and answer your juicy questions while creating this look right here. So if you're excited for this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and now let's jump straight into it. Alright, welcome. I'm wearing my hair rollers. They're so big, it's so ridiculous. They don't even fit in the frame. I have really fine thin hair and I find that they really help with volume. And also, can we have a little moment for these baby hairs? I've been on my hair regrowth journey. I've been using hair serums and clearly they have been working. Let me just go ahead and prime my face. I don't really have a new primer to test out with you guys, but ColourPop sent me their Soul Body Liquid Sun Glow Drops. Really cute packaging, and it says, get the bronzy back from Vacay Glow with our face and body glow drops for instant sun-kissed skin. It's like sunshine in a bottle and it's only $12. I love that they are only $12. I feel like we have so many similar to this product on the market right now, but I love that it's a more affordable option. Shake well before use. Mix 1-3 drops into your favorite moisturizer, skincare, your foundation, or wear it alone. I think I will go ahead and mix it in with my primer. I'm gonna use my vitamin enriched face base from Bobbi Brown. I have it in my project pan, and I'm just gonna use a spatula and scoop out a little bit to the back of my hand. And let's add 1-2 drops of the Glow Drops. Now I'm gonna just mix. Here's how the pigment looks like. They definitely have some pigmentation to it. I wouldn't say that they are completely sheer. Let me just go start applying them and priming my face. And here's our first question. How do you feel about turning 36? Honestly, I feel really good about turning 36. It honestly feels really freeing in a way. I just care way less about what other people think. I know myself so much better, and I feel like I'm in this sweet spot where I still have the energy and this excitement for life, but I have so much more patience and wisdom than I had in my 20s. I'll be honest with you guys, 20s were not easy for me. I was in the trenches all my 20s. It's just such a weird time because you have to figure out so much stuff, make such huge life decisions, your career choices, and then your personal life. I was just trying constantly to figure out my life. I was making a lot of mistakes. I was trying to please everyone and constantly feeling like I'm not doing enough. 20s were exhausting, messy, and necessary in a way. But the skin, I feel like it looks good. The bronzing drops added a little bit of glow, a little bit of color. Nothing too major. It's not patchy. I like it so far. I would be definitely open to trying them mixing with my skincare and primers again. I'm just gonna color correct a little bit with my skin corrector stick from Bobbi Brown. I also have it in my project pan, so I'm trying to finish it. But back to that question, I honestly feel like I'm 26 half of the time. Well, until I stay up too late or eat trash for a couple of days, then my body's like, well, absolutely not. Plus, I'll be honest, being in this beauty industry where everything glorifies use and profits of use can sometimes make you feel kinda lost. Everything is changing. Of course, my body and face doesn't look the way it used to look in my 20s. I'll be honest, some mornings I look in the mirror and I'm like, where did it come from? When did that happen? And especially after having 2 kids, you know, that does so much on your body. So of course things just don't bounce back as fast as they used to. And I'm just learning to embrace that. Of course it's really hard because everyone on social media looks perfect all day, every day. Just recognize how detrimental that is to my mental health. And I'm just trying to shift my focus from always chasing perfection to celebrating where I am now, how far I've come, how many things I've learned. And it's definitely a process, and I have days where I feel really secure and confident in myself, and there are other days where I feel really unsure. But I think this is all just a part of being a human, and I've been trying to be vocal more about this on my social media, trying to show real sides of my life. Overall, I feel so much more confident. I know who I am, I know what I want in life, I know what I don't want. I feel like 36 is that sweet spot where you're still constantly learning and evolving, but you're also finally being okay with who you are as a person, and let me tell you, that's the best feeling ever. Moving on to my foundation, we have a new one to try today. This is True Intentions Hydrating Foundation from Range Beauty. They are a black-owned brand available at Sephora, which is Go Range Beauty. I guess this brand is not new, right? They just became available at Sephora, but they were available before on other platforms. I hope I'm correct in that, but they were founded by Alicia Scott, and she says, when I developed eczema and acne, I felt left out by beauty brands because the ingredients were irritating and I didn't see my skin color represented. I created Range Beauty to prioritize those who ever felt forgotten because of their skin tone or type. Interesting. They sent me 2 shades. We have Paloma and Coconut Milk. I feel like Paloma is a little bit too light and Coconut Milk is a little bit too deep for my skin. Maybe we'll just mix them together, but it says that it's a light to medium coverage, oil-free foundation powered by gentle ingredients and shown to soothe redness and flare-ups and fight breakouts. This sounds perfect for me because I have a lot of redness on my skin. And this is what the texture looks like. It's really creamy. Alright, here we have Paloma. And this is Coconut Milk. I feel like that's a pretty big jump and we could definitely have a couple more shades sandwiched in between there. But I understand why they are doing it, probably because they are black-owned brand and they focus on those particular skin tones in their range. It says that for sheer coverage we can apply with hands. For medium coverage, apply with a foundation, brush or sponge. I use my LYS sponge and kind of just mix these 2 shades together and blend them out. Next question, cake or no cake? What kind of question is that? Come on. Of course cake, and don't forget to bring 36 candles. What's your zodiac sign and do you feel like it fits you? So I did one of those natal charts and turns out I'm half fire, half air. So my big 3 is I'm an Aries sun, I have Sagittarius moon, and I'm a Gemini rising. Which, if you ask me, explains a lot. Oh, and by the way, I'm not professional when it comes to astrology, zodiac. I do find it quite fascinating and interesting and I like to learn new things, so astrology is one of those things that excite me. As for my sun in Aries, I'm pretty impulsive, I'm fearless, I like to start new things, and I kinda jump into new things without really thinking about it. I just love a challenge and I can't stand being bored. Boredom is not for me. Then I have moon in Sagittarius and I feel like this is where my craving of freedom and adventures and traveling comes. I'm also really big on honesty and sometimes I feel like I'm just too honest, or it can be definitely viewed as blunt. I just say sometimes things that can be considered really rude and I've definitely got in trouble for that throughout my whole life, especially when I was a child. I definitely had my struggles, should I say, with authorities, with teachers and my parents, of course. And then, of course, my rising in Gemini, and it explains a lot. I love trying new things. I'm so curious about many things. I have a million tabs in my mind open at all times. I talk a lot with my hands. I juggle a lot of things. And I love connecting and talking and sharing and learning from other people. Alright, so this is how foundation looks like on so far. I would definitely say that it's hydrating formula that has a glowy, radiant finish even. It looks really skin-like and gives this beautiful dewy finish. I feel like it would be better suited for dry skin, but of course we will have to wear it throughout the day and see how it wears and how it looks by the end of the night. It doesn't really accentuate any dryness or look weird on any spots. Maybe a little bit of my smile lines, but that's just part of my face. I have lines, so any foundation settles into them. I'm gonna quickly bronze up my face with this Kaja Play Bento bronzer, but back to my chart. Fun fact, I don't have any water in my chart, not a single drop. And maybe people who are really into zodiac can chime in the comments and let me know what it says about me, but please don't be harsh. But honestly, it really explains a lot about me. I'm just a person who doesn't really process their emotions in this really deep, introspective, moody kind of way. And I've been always like that. If there's something that bothers me, I will not be the one to sit and cry it out quietly. I will do something about it. I will at least talk about it out loud with my words, or I will do some actions about it. Or most of the times I will just distract myself by doing something else. I'm just more actions and logic over feelings and intuition. And even when somebody is venting me about something, my first impulse is to try to fix it. I feel like there's definitely positive things about this too. For example, I don't really dwell on things. I move on pretty quickly. I just try to keep things really light and positive because, again, my moon is in Sagittarius and I feel like I'm sometimes overly positive. Sometimes the situation can be really bad and I'm like, no, there's definitely a good side to this. Just gonna use a little bit of coffee concealer under my eyes. But yeah, I feel like sometimes I definitely could have used a little bit of water in my chart. I just struggle sometimes to be on one page with people around me emotionally. When they are going through something, I just struggle to sit in these deep emotions with them. I'm just trying to cheer them up or do something fun and distract them. And I feel like sometimes people really need somebody to just be there for them and just feel those emotions with them. And I feel like I struggle with that sometimes. And that's one of the many reasons that I've started therapy. And oh my gosh, it's been absolutely amazing. I would say that my chart fits me pretty perfectly. By the way, happy birthday to all of the amazing Aries, especially Aries women, you are amazing. Alright, before I move on with the rest of my face, I want to do my eyeshadow now just because I feel like if we have some fallout, it will be easier to fix. We have two new eyeshadow palettes from Moira, Celestial Chic and Cosmic Desire. They were so kind and sent them my way. Which one should we use? I wish you guys were here and told me which one to use, but this is Cosmic Desire, beautiful neutral color story. And this one is Celestial Chic. I think I'm gonna go with this one. I feel like it matches my top a little bit better today and I'm just feeling these beautiful, cooler tones. When did you start to be passionate about makeup and beauty? I became passionate about beauty and makeup in 2017. And honestly, before that, I was like a lip gloss and maybe a little bit of mascara kind of girl. I was not into beauty at all. But after having my daughter, I really struggled with postpartum depression. I felt really lost, lonely, and disconnected from my previous self. I honestly wish I would have reached out and asked for help, but I'll be honest, in Belarus, postpartum depression is just not the topic that's being discussed and really looked into. You're kind of supposed to figure it out by yourself and pull yourself up by the bootstraps. I was just feeling really lonely, feeling really isolated, and I was just bored. And I was browsing YouTube and watching YouTube videos, and I stumbled upon beauty YouTube. And I just remember watching Nikki tutorials and the way she would apply her foundation and completely cover her skin and do these full coverage looks, and the way that ignited something in me is beyond. Just remember having this unexplained joy when watching it. It just sparked something in me, and the rest is history, to be honest. I started binge watching all the different creators and I started creating all these looks and trying makeup, and eventually I started posting on Instagram. And I think the reason why I started posting is because there was nobody in my life who really cared about makeup. I would tell my friend, oh, there's a new palette by Pat McGrath, and she would be like, whatever. Nobody really cared about makeup in my life. So I was really lonely on that and was kind of craving community aspect of it. I wanted to find my people. I wanted to find my group. And I saw how many views Nikki tutorials got, so I knew that This is a growing community. It's really huge. So I'm like, let me just go and start posting and start being on the other side of the camera. And I started posting my simple makeup looks and my flat lace. Do you guys remember flat lace? Wow, they used to be a thing. And slowly people started connecting with me, and honestly, the rest is history. And I'm just honestly so happy to be here. I feel like I'm at home and I feel so confident where I am in life and with what I do. And I'm just so grateful that you guys are here. This community is beyond supportive. So thank you so much for being here and letting me share what I love. Wow, this mattes blended out absolutely effortlessly. That was really easy. Okay, I like it. Now I want to try these shimmers. This shade, Silver Moon, is absolutely calling my name. Oh, yes, baby. What's something from your life before kids that you secretly still wish you could have back? Honestly, number one thing I miss the most since becoming a mom is the ability to procrastinate and do nothing. And I mean like absolutely nothing. Before having kids, me and my husband, we used to be pros at this. On some random Friday or on weekends, we would just stay in and stay in bed the whole day. There were no alarms, nowhere to go, no responsibilities, no schedule, nothing. We would just order pizza, we would get our snacks, we would get comfy, we would watch all the movies, all the TV shows, laugh our asses off and just exist in this cozy little bubble. We would just rot in bed all day long, and let me tell you, those days are gone and they were glorious. Now, please, there's always somewhere to go. We have tennis lessons, we have art classes. There's a huge list of things to do in my mind, and for some reason it just keeps growing and growing. And there's just always someone who needs you. Mama, do this. Mama, can I get this? Mama, can you do this? Parenting is like a job that never clocks out. And if you do get a minute to sit down and catch your breath, there's still this list in your mind of things that you need to do. And there will be always someone who will ask for help or ask for a snack. I just miss that freedom of being able to stay in and rot all day and not even feel bad about it. Kind of trade that comfort and quiet for chaos and noise, but there's also so much joy that comes with it. So if you're about to become a parent, just have those days. Please stay in bed, rot all day, do absolutely nothing. If I could get at least one of those days, ooh, I would cherish every single moment. Well, that and maybe wearing heels. I think 2016 was the last year I wore heels, and now I'm pretty sure my feet has transformed into this sneaker shape. Couldn't be more happy with how this look is turning out. The shimmers in this palette are absolutely stunning, so sparkly and gorgeous. And forgot to mention, I have an affiliate code with Moira Beauty. It's Elena15, I think. I will leave it in the description down below for you guys. So if you've been curious about Moira and their products, I highly recommend checking them out. They're very affordable and are absolutely amazing, and you can always use my code to get that price even further down, which I think is absolutely incredible. Thank you so much, by the way, if you guys use my codes. This helps me a lot. Now let's move on to this soft pinch matte bouncy blush from Rare Beauty. So this came from the Octoly from Skipper's platform. I was able to actually choose my shade. I don't know what possessed me. Why did I choose this one? But I choose the shade Truth. Clearly, it's super deep and I'm kind of scared, but let's try it out. I'm so excited. This retails for $27 and it is described as a cushiony cream to powder blush that gives the dreamiest flush of color with a lasting blurred matte finish. This texture looks absolutely incredible. I just want to squish my fingers in it. Oh wow, it feels really interesting. It has this squishy, bouncy texture. So cool. Let me just try to swatch it on the back of my hand. Oh, wow, this is a gorgeous shade. It's like a beautiful plummy shade. They also sent over their blush brush, so I think we will try to use it with this formula. Let's just try to do a couple of taps and not get too crazy here. What's a beauty ritual that makes you feel most like you? So my favorite beauty ritual 100% is my skincare routine. There's just something so grounding to me about starting and ending my day with a routine and with a clean, hydrated face. Definitely my favorite self-care moment of the day. I love my skincare. I'm really psycho about my skincare. It can be really late. We can come back from something and it's time to go to bed, but no, I have to do my skincare first. I'm not going to bed with my makeup on. No, no, no. I'm just taking care of myself and it makes me instantly feel better about myself and puts me in a better mindset. And it's a thing that I never skip, even on busy days. I know that I will not have time to sit down and do my makeup. I will still do my skincare routine. Maybe I will add a little bit of mascara, a little bit of lip gloss. And trust me, I keep it really simple, but it just makes me feel put together, ready to face the day. It just makes me feel like me. Wow, that blush melted into my skin. And I was so worried about this pigment being too much on my skin tone. But I feel like it blended out absolutely effortlessly, and dare I say I want to add more. There goes my blush blindness, but you guys know how I do it. Let's just add a little bit more, not too much, just a tiny bit. This shade, by the way, is Gorgina, and the texture of this blush is so unique. It definitely goes on like a cream, but sets down and looks like a powder. This is so cool. What is the most exciting thing to you right now? Without any doubt, my number one, the most exciting thing right now to me is YouTube. I just wanted to do it for the longest time ever, and I always found excuses. I had really small children. Well, my kids are still on the younger side, but they are not babies anymore. I was just like, no, it's not the right time. My kids, they're still babies. They take up so much time, and YouTube is so time consuming, and oh my god, it just takes content creation to a whole new level in terms of time. But this year I was finally like, it's time to go after things that you really want and stop putting them off. Plus, I'm always up for a challenge and I love learning new things. And wow, I learned so much since I've started posting on YouTube. And I'm still learning and figuring it out, of course, as I go. But I feel like I've made such a huge progress already, and I'm just really proud of myself for showing up for myself, for taking up space, for being really fearless. I really appreciate that quality in me. And I've been posting short form content for what, 8 years now, but I just crave a little bit of a deeper connection. Again, I don't really think there's anything wrong with short form content. I really enjoy my short form content, quick posts and stories, but sometimes you really crave that deeper connection on a deeper level. And I'm just so excited to keep growing on YouTube and finding my voice and sharing my thoughts and ideas and just my life with you guys. This year is truly when I'm done with being scared and I really want to push out myself from my comfort zone. And I just feel like I'm growing and learning so much with every video that I put out. And I just love brainstorming and filming. Editing though is still kind of hard for me. English is not my first language, so I do take quite a bit of pauses just to collect my thoughts and think what I'm about to say. So when I edit, I do cut out a lot, so editing takes a long time for me. So I'm still learning on how to make it a little bit more manageable for me right now. And all of this is just the beginning. So I'm just so excited about this whole journey. Right, for my brows, we're gonna use this Super Fluff Brow Mousse from Maybelline. They sent me 2 shades. We have the shade Blonde and Soft Brown. I think I'm gonna use them both. I'm gonna use the blonde for the majority of my brow and this soft brown mostly for the tail to accentuate it a little bit more. I've actually never used a brow mousse before, so this is really interesting and could go wrong really badly, but this is what the applicator looks like. It's giving a small mascara wand, to be honest. It says that we should prime the brush a little bit by taking off excess product. And I think that's a good advice because it's really tinted and you have to be careful not to make a complete mess with this. The biggest lesson motherhood has taught you. So motherhood is an absolutely best thing that could have ever happened to me, and my kids are 100% best thing I've ever done. What I didn't expect is how empowering motherhood would make you feel. I still remember being in that hospital. Of course, I was on endorphins after having a baby, but I was just sitting in that bed and I was like, I literally just made a human being. There's nothing I can do. Basically, I felt like a superwoman, not gonna lie. I just feel like motherhood magnifies all your qualities and you become a better version of yourself. You were strong, now you're stronger. You struggled with patience, now you will be much more patient. More caring, more loving, more wise since having kids. And they constantly challenge you to be better and you evolve and grow as they do. And honestly, motherhood is what led me to my beauty journey in the first place. Like in weird ways, becoming a mom helped me to get out of my shell and become more fearless and just stop caring about what other people think and just start showing up for myself and finally doing what I want to do. Alright, so here's how the brow mousse looks on. I like that it's a really soft formula. They don't feel crunchy or weird. They are still really soft and fluffy. It was a little bit messy to put on, and I feel like you have to have pretty much perfect brows to use this, because I definitely feel the itch to grab my pencil and fill in a couple of sparse areas. But this could be really nice for no makeup days, when you have that a little bit of mascara and lip gloss on and you want to do a little bit of something to your brows. I feel like that would be the main usage of this product for me. I have a feeling though, because the formula is really soft and moussey, they will not stay up. I feel like by the end of the day they will fall down. Maybe I should leave a little comment under the video and tell you guys how it wore. Maybe if I don't forget, I will do that. I'll set my face slightly with the Seal the Deal loose powder from Lawless Beauty. I also have it in my project pan, but overall motherhood has been absolutely incredible journey, and especially with my postpartum struggles, I feel like I've been through the trenches and I'm just so much stronger now. It really made me feel like I can do absolutely anything and I'm so strong. Have you ever been late for a plane? Okay, to my big embarrassment, I actually have twice. Yes, I know. The first time was a flight to Dubai. How can you miss a flight to Dubai? Are you insane? Yes, you can. I was actually really young and my mom was in charge of planning that trip. And let's just say that punctuality doesn't really run in this family. I just remember running through that airport like our life depends on it, and of course we missed the flight. Oh my gosh, we had to take the overnight stay at a local hotel, so I guess we got some family bonding time. And then clearly, because I didn't learn my lesson the first time, we missed the flight to Hawaii. Who misses the flight to literal paradise? Of course it was our fault, we arrived too late. We thought that it's a domestic flight, so of course we don't need to come early. And it was LAX, and of course parking and everything takes so much time. So lesson learned. Life just has these funny ways of teaching you. Now I'm that person who arrives obnoxiously early to the airport. I double check my gates 3 times. I'm that person who sits 2 hours before the boarding starts with her coffee. It's called growth, okay? We have a new mascara from Coffee Beauty. This is the Body Lash Mascara and it's a tubing mascara. And we have this plastic wand bristle brush and it has this spiked end to make it really easy to get in the inner and outer corners and also to do your lower lashes really fast. This is not my first time trying this mascara. I've been actually wearing it and enjoying it so much. It's just one of those formulas that gives both volume and separation. So this is what one coat of the Body Lash Mascara gives you. I really enjoy it and I really love this brush because it does such a good job of coating your lashes, but it doesn't make them super clumpy. It gives a little bit of good clump, if you know what I mean. I love a good clump on my lashes. Volume if you must, and I've been really loving this one. What's one thing you're most proud of in your life right now? Honestly, I think my number one thing that I'm really proud of is that I keep showing up for myself and going after things that I want, even if they are new to me, they are uncertain, they are super scary. And I've always been like that. I come from a pretty turbulent childhood, and I definitely have a lot of chaos in my past. I grew up with an alcoholic and abusive father, so when I went to college and I got my first job, the first thing I did, I moved out. You know, it was kind of scary to live on your own, to provide for yourself, not depend on anyone else. But I'm just someone who's always pushing forward, starting new things, and taking risks. And I'm really proud of how far that mindset has taken me. Whether it's my personal life or my social media career, I never let fear or overthinking stop me. I just love that I trust myself enough to jump into new things, figure it out on the way, and not overthink it. But I know at the end of the day, I will figure it out and I will learn and grow. And I genuinely love that about myself. Next, I have this jelly highlighter from the brand Fee. I hope I pronounced it correctly. They are a K-beauty brand and they sent me a very nice package, and this is the highlighter. It's like a cream highlighter, and this one is in sugar powder. I've made a mistake and I've set my face, so this could go really wrong, but just look at how cute is this pebble packaging. Just so freaking adorable, and this is what the texture looks like. Will it leave my makeup? Not really sure. Wow, it looks absolutely beautiful up close. Oh my goodness, you guys, it's actually squishy. It feels like you're touching jello. Alright, here's swatch. Interesting, it's really creamy, moussey, and kind of sticky, not gonna lie. I feel like that might ruin my makeup. I guess I'll just grab a little bit with my finger. So interesting, it starts to melt into your skin. Oh, wow. I'm really impressed. Oh wow, this is so cool. I don't see it lifting my makeup up. It actually meshes and melts in with my skin. Oh, I like it. What's something you've learned about yourself this past year? My number one lesson from this year is it's okay to ask for help. I've always been that type of person that figures it out on their own, fixes what needs to be fixed and kind of moves on and does it all on her own. But this year I've started therapy, and let me just tell you, this has been one of the best decisions in my life. It's just been such a huge eye-opener for me, and it really helped me to process and work through so many things, to grow and just to learn how to manage everything in a more healthier way. Not gonna lie, the first therapy session was really nerve-wracking. It's really hard to, at least for me, it's really hard to open up to a complete stranger about your whole life and things you've been through. I've always been kind of closed person. I never been the one to talk a lot about my boyfriends or my love interests. I keep it all to myself. And even now, I don't really share about my family all that much on social media. It's just not for me. I try to keep my kids from social media as far as I can. I just feel really protective over them. So that first session is kind of weird, to be honest. You just sitting there trying to make this new connection with this person. And I also will say that I was unpleasantly surprised by how little options for therapy I had. We have a pretty nice healthcare coverage, and still there were so little options. So this just makes me feel really bad about people not having any option, because I just see so much benefit in therapy. So it kind of infuriates me that some people just don't have any access to it, if you know what I mean. I come from a background where people don't really talk about mental health at all. Like in Belarus, nobody is talking about depression or anxiety or how you feel. Therapy is pretty much non-existent unless you have really life-threatening mental issues like schizophrenia and stuff like that. So it felt really vulnerable of me to start even looking into it, and then of course scheduled that first session and started. But it turned out to be one of the best things in my life. I feel like I personally become a better person when I do therapy. I feel like my relationships with my husband benefit from it. I feel like I'm a much better mom to my kids when I do therapy. I feel like the therapist is that person that have a set of tools that could help to manage situations in a healthy way, and maybe sometimes we just don't have those tools on our own. For example, you could be having an argument with your spouse over and over and over again, and like after 5 years you could finally figure out the solution. So going to therapy will help you figure out that solution much faster. You don't have to wait and struggle 5 years. It's been an amazing source of knowledge and just learning more about myself and how I act and why I act the way I act. So I could honestly talk about it for a long time, but I would definitely recommend, if you guys have that ability and resources. I know so many don't, which again, so sad. But if you do, look into it. I highly recommend it. Alright, and finally for lips, I want to use one of these ceramide lip blur balms from Cocokind. They were so kind and sent me all of the shades. I feel like I want to use maybe Be Kind or Be Powerful. I'll just start by lining my lips with the Tower 28 multi-liner in Work of Art. And final question we have is, how are you doing? This is such a sweet question. I feel like I'm doing pretty well. Very busy, juggling a lot of things. I'm a mom of 2. I work from home. I also try to keep up with my home, you know, cooking, cleaning, and everything in between. Sometimes, of course, I get really overwhelmed and overstimulated and just stressed and tired. But honestly, I really enjoy all of it. I feel like I'm in a really nice and sweet spot in my life right now. And I'm just really trying to enjoy every moment of it right now. And just be easier on myself, I feel like, because I've been really hard on myself in the past and that did not get me anywhere. So I'm just trying to be more realistic, but I'm also not trying to fit in anymore. I just want to be as authentic as possibly and as true to myself as I can be. I'm just trying to find my voice in the middle of it all and enjoy the ride. But after that, that's where we are going to wrap up my birthday Q&A. Thank you so much to everyone who sends their amazing questions. I'm honestly so impressed with how my eye look turned out today with the Celestial Chic palette from Moira Beauty. Definitely don't sleep on the Coffee mascara too. Blush is my weakness, and this one from Rare Beauty is absolutely stunning. Also, this ceramide lip blur balm feels so lightweight on the lips. It honestly feels like skincare. I cannot wait to wear it more. But that's going to be it. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss my future uploads. I love you guys all so much, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!